Authenticity. This is a word that we hear a lot lately, but what does it even mean and how do you do it? In this video, I'm going to share with you what I mean when I use this word and how to show up more authentically in your life. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you can be notified every time I post a new video on moving on from toxic relationships to self-love. So you know that hairstylist that you tell everything to about your life and your relationships? Well, for 15 years, that was me. I'm Mischaela Richter, and I'm a personal growth and self-love coach who helps people pleasers with a history of toxic relationships move on from patterns of self-sabotage and self-criticism to more self-trust and self-confidence and self-love so that they can show up authentically in their life and relationships. So if this sounds like you, stick around because I want to share all that I've learned with you so that you can have a healthier relationship with yourself. Okay, let's get into it. I subscribe to the belief that we are all our own unique expression of source energy. I like to think of it as like a disco ball. And we are all our own individual facet of mirror reflecting our own unique perspective on life. We are born with our own unique essence, our authentic self, and then life happens to us. When we are very small, we start to internalize messaging that we receive from our parents or our caregivers about how we should or shouldn't be, or what we should or shouldn't do. Things like, don't be so loud, don't be so rough, don't run so fast, don't climb so high, be quiet, be nice, be agreeable. So there's this battle that starts to wage within us between authenticity and acceptance. Now, we're not aware of this as small children, but our very survival depends on acceptance from our providers. So we start to shut down certain parts of ourselves. And this continues throughout our teens and our adulthood, but now we're receiving this messaging from our teachers and our peers and our romantic partners about what is acceptable. So now we're shutting down even more parts of ourselves. And by the time we're adults, we're so conditioned to be a certain way that we don't even know who we really are anymore. So generally by this time, in our 20s, late 20s, early 30s, we start to recognize some patterns at play here of self-criticism, self-sabotage, which is leading to suffering in our lives. And we start to embark on this journey of self-discovery to get clear on who are we? Who are we really? What really matters to us? What's really important to us? My personal awakening started in my mid-20s when I started to recognize that I was no longer deeply fulfilled in my career in the way I once was. I'd been a hairstylist by 7 years at that point. And my journey started with the book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And it consisted of years of yoga and meditation and retreats and psychedelic exploration and books and videos and therapy and coaching, my coach training, all seeking to uncover who I was, strip back these layers of conditioning and identities to get back to the essence of who I was. So through all of that, here's what I discovered about authenticity. Authenticity is not a destination that we arrive at. Authenticity is a commitment to showing up in each moment in alignment with our truest selves. So this means your thoughts, your feelings, your actions are in alignment with your true essence. So how do you discover who you truly are and what this authentic essence is? Well, let's start by clarifying what it is not. Your true self is not your job, because that can change throughout your life. It's not your roles or your responsibilities. It's not your relationships. Again, all of these can change throughout your life. It's not your skills, your pursuits, your interests, because again, all of these are mutable. So if you aren't your roles or what you do, then what are you? Your thoughts, your feelings? No, because again, those change all the time as well. In fact, your thoughts are the delivery method of your societal conditioning, right? So thoughts of self-criticism or self-judgment can rise up, and then that leads to feelings of shame or guilt or anxiety or fear. So then what is left? Your awareness. This is the part of you that is able to observe your thoughts and your feelings and your actions or reactions or inactions from a non-judgmental perspective. Simply noticing, witnessing, observing. Your awareness is the part of you that is active when you're completely tuned in to the information that's available to you through your senses. That which you can see and hear and taste and smell and touch. Think of a baby responding to their environment without any judgment. If they're cold, they express that. If they're hungry, they express that. They're just responding to their sensory experience. So why is authenticity so important? When we are fully present and tuned into the sensory experience that we are having in that current moment, we are more able to respond to our experience rather than react to it. So responding is about connecting with our authentic experience of the circumstances at play, whereas reacting is about defaulting to that societal conditioning and following that automatic script. Responding allows us the space to check in with what we are actually experiencing to ensure that it feels genuine. The more we create this space to respond versus react, the more we're able to let go of our conditioning and the fear of judgment and failure and everything else that goes along with that. And this opens up so much more possibility. When we are aligned with our authenticity, we are able to speak our truth to those close to us without fear of judgment or rejection. We're able to follow our genuine interests, follow our excitement, and take action towards these things without, again, fear of judgment or failure. And if failure does happen, we're able to accept that failure as an opportunity for learning and growth. We're also able to allow space for our emotions to arise and be expressed and processed. We're able to accept all of who we are without judgment. And all of this allows us to move more freely throughout our days without resisting or withholding or suppressing who we truly are, which takes so much energy and is honestly so draining, whether you're conscious of it or not. So we've covered what authenticity is and why it's so important, but how do we do it? How do we be authentic? Show up authentically in our lives? First, we have to get to know ourselves more deeply. I'm talking about self-awareness here, which is the first module in my self-love program. It's like plugging in your current location to the GPS. You have to know where you are in order to get where you want to be. So this is about building more awareness of your thoughts and feelings and actions in each moment, day to day. So much of our day is happening unconsciously. So much of these thoughts and feelings are subconscious. So this is about bringing that into consciousness. The more you notice your reactions to the circumstances of your life, the more self-awareness you build. I call this activating your inner observer. Next is about getting to know what truly lights you up and brings you down. A good exercise to do here is to get to know your core values, because when we are living in alignment with our core values, that's when we feel most alive and fulfilled. Then you want to start shedding those layers of conditioning that have built up on you and that are not yours to carry. So this is about accepting yourself for all that you are and really just reclaiming those parts of yourself that you've rejected or abandoned, pushed into the shadows. Those 3 steps alone are going to help you access so much more energy because, again, you're not resisting, suppressing, withholding, right? Which all requires so much energy to hold that tension in your body and in your mind, right? So now you've got this extra energy to work with, and this is going to allow you to start advocating for yourself more freely. So this is about speaking up, using your voice, speaking your truth, setting boundaries with the people in your lives, whether it's friends, family, coworkers, wherever it's needed. And in doing all of this, you're going to start to develop more self-trust, right? You're going to start to trust that you've got your own back. And you're going to be able to listen more deeply to your intuition, to your inner guidance, which we all have. We all have that small voice inside us that's begging to be heard more. So this is about deepening your connection with that part of you. Because the more you trust yourself, the more confidence you're going to have in yourself, which is going to allow you to show up more authentically. Again, without fear of how you're going to be perceived by others or how things are going to turn out, because you trust that you're going to be able to handle whatever comes in each moment. So this is why I created the self-love program, to help guide you through all of those steps that I've shared with you in this video, so that you can move on from patterns of self-sabotage and self-criticism and people-pleasing to more self-awareness and self-trust and self-love, so that you can show up more authentically in your life and your relationships. So if this is speaking to you and you want to get started, I've created a free guide, which you can download through the link in the description below, to help get you started on your path to self-love. Or you can book a complimentary Find Your Path to Self-Love call with me, which again, you can book through the link in the description below. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear what your takeaways were from this video. Drop them in the comments below. I'd love to answer any questions you have or just engage in a conversation. And if you like this video, give it a like, hit subscribe, share it with a friend, and check out these videos next if they resonate for you. Okay, that's all for now. Sending love. Mwah.